Hi, I'm Dan Colber, and I'm representing Watershed Capital, and I'm here with Dennis Belcher, a partner with the Private Wealth Management Group, I should say, of McGuire Woods, a law firm that was the sponsor today, May 3rd, of the Sustainable Opportunities in Education Forum that we had here in Atlanta, Georgia. Dennis, how are you today?
I am fine, Dan. Thank you.
Great. And you're based in Richmond.
I work primarily out of Richmond, although I represent people all over the country.
And tell me how you got involved in the sustainable impact investing area.
Well, I represent wealthy individuals and foundations, and the younger generation has really expressed an interest in investments that will make an impact, whether it's a socially responsible investment or just an investment that is targeted at a particular need that these people see. So I felt that I needed to be educated so I could advise them properly in this area.
Well, you don't have to tell me how old you are, but how many years have you been in this space? Because it's a relatively new area.
Well, this area that I've been working in is for the last 2 to 3 years. And it started with actually an interest in a client that wanted to look at sustainable energy. The client was inherited significant wealth and was just concerned about the way the world was going, particularly the United States' reliance on fossil fuels. And so she started talking to me about this, and I felt that I needed to be educated so I could properly advise her.
Well, I know firsthand that the lawyers in McGuire Woods try to solve your client's problems. So what would you say is the problem that you're solving by utilizing the knowledge in this area?
Well, I think it's two things. First, from the clients look at first it's helping the clients accomplish their goal. The client look at their assets and say, I can use the income and the appreciation from these assets to accomplish what I'm interested in, or I can use the reservoir of assets to accomplish the mission. And they believe that using the reservoir of assets, they can be much more effective. And the second thing is that there are some, as you know, legal hurdles that need to be overcome to be invested in these type of investments. Not all of these investments will fit every trust portfolio and every foundation's portfolio, all depending upon the governing instruments.
Can you realize a market competitive rate of return on your investment by doing social impact, or do you have to take a hit on the return?
That's one thing I learned at today's conference from the presenters, which was very informative, in that almost to a person, they said it is possible to meet the benchmarks of most of the investment classes and still be socially responsible in your investments. So that was one thing. It was a very good point that I came away from the conference, is that you do not necessarily have to take a hit on the rate of return in the asset class that you're selecting.
If you're a new investor getting into the area of impact investing, what tips could you give somebody in getting involved?
Well, the first thing I would say is go to a conference like this, because it clearly will educate you and will get you to start knowing what options are available. I mean, for example, do you work with a fund of funds? Do you work with individual targeted investments? What type of area are you interested in? Are you interested in the United States? Are you interested in Africa? And also, what area, not only geographic, but what other social area are you interested in? Are you interested in water? Are you interested in energy? Are you interested in education? Are you interested in poor? So it's just like anything. You just need to get educated. You need to get started by going to a conference like this, or going on the internet, or just talking to other foundations. I mean, I found that there were a lot of people here today that were really knowledgeable about this subject matter.
And what about the other side of the coin? If you're a fiduciary and you're held to a higher standard of care in investing other people's monies, what kind of advice would you give to a fiduciary who's meeting demands in trying to help their clients get involved in social investing?
Well, a fiduciary is not a guarantor of investment performance. What a fiduciary needs to do is to be process-oriented. And so what a fiduciary should do is first look at the governing instrument and see what the standard is, check state law that's applicable to the fiduciary, and then go through a process by determining, do you have an investment policy? What does investment policy provide? And then doing your due diligence to make sure that you're selecting proper managers. And then last, I would recommend that they communicate with the beneficiaries so the beneficiaries know what's going on.
And if you go to someone like yourself at a McGuire Woods, I would imagine that you can bring in other disciplines like tax advice if you needed that, and also the ability to set up not-for-profit organizations, which is a subspecialty.
Yes, and there's so many different areas that need to be touched, and many times we'll bring in, for example, there's a recent ruling from the Internal Revenue Service on jeopardizing investments that I think will affect a lot of our clients. So there's several disciplines that you need to touch base with.
Is there a website that I can go to if I wanted to get these type of updates from your firm? Or?
Sure. We have, if you could send me an email, dbelcher@mcguirewoods.com. I will put you on the listserv. Or also, we've got several alerts that we send out from our non-profit and charitable organizations group. So I would be glad to put people in touch with that.
Okay, and that includes people watching this as well.
Most definitely.
Because this is going to go out all over the world. I know Sean Lester, Michael Wiltshire are going to see to that. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you, Dan.
taking
I
the time to
appreciate it.
speak with us and for sponsoring this great event that was held today, May 3rd, in Atlanta, Georgia.
We were pleased to be part of this conference.
Thank you.